There was one moment doing an internship researching bottlenose dolphins. That was a dream. My camera was the thing I had most in my hand. That was a moment in my head of like,
International Airport.
Who it is?
Yo, what's up, guys? Every so often, we come across a creator who really resonates with us. We can't help but wonder, how do they do it?
Tom is a scientist and master storyteller.
got a penguin suit. Not everyone can say that.
His videos have over 20 million views and combine creativity with structure.
I am a marine biologist and I'm not a filmmaker.
These binge-worthy videos is what started our connection.
I got stuck in my request folder for a long time.
But now he has become my closest collaborator,
No screen here anymore, right?
It's a little bit weird.
enabling the launch of Orbit.
When you say you're a marine biologist by trade, what made you move into the media direction?
Yeah, the jump. I started dabbling with cameras and GoPros especially. That's how I started. I didn't know really what storytelling was back then, but I knew that I wanted to tell a story with the visuals that I got. There was one moment I was doing an internship researching bottlenose dolphins. I mean, you see the whales and everything. That was the dream, studying dolphins and studying whales. My camera was the thing I had most in my hands instead of noting down everything I should have done, right? And that was a moment in my head of like, maybe I'm not so much interested in doing the science, but more so interested in sharing what that experience is like. And that's when the switch came to filmmaking.
Before we dive too deep into what else is in your work realm, can you take me a little bit through your journey on YouTube from the first channel to where you are now? Because it's a very different scenario
than most people. The biggest thing was when I got the GoPro camera, because that's where it started for me. Because you see these ads of like, this is what a GoPro camera can do. And then you put your GoPro on top of like whatever the bike or whatever, and it looks like potato. That to be said, I wanted to recreate again those kind of videos with whatever I had in front of me. So like my life wasn't extreme at all, but I would edit it in a way that it looked like a GoPro video. That started to relate to people, so that became into a series, and then that's how I started off. So that was Tom's Odyssey. And then fast forward.
5 years ago, one of those videos went viral. Currently, it has over 18 million views.
Now that I have studied like why videos go viral and everything, now I'm like looking back, I'm like, yes, that's why. I titled that Surviving a Sinking Car. The thumbnail was the GoPro shot inside of the car just at the moment that the water is rushing in.
That's good packaging.
That was pretty good packaging. I had no clue because like for me that was like, okay, looks the coolest, and surviving a sinking car, it sounded the coolest, and I didn't know what else to name it. So that went viral for a few days, like getting a few million views. And then every few months there would be like a spike again. And it's funny because you could see in the data that like then it was India, then it was Sri Lanka, then it was this place. So it would go viral.
So it just toured the world kind of.
Yeah, that's cool until you start to realize that people come in who have no link to filmmaking whatsoever. So my content is about creativity and filmmaking and photography. My viral video is about how to not drown in a car. How the hell do I turn around with this? Because people start following you also because of that. I mean, that's cool, but not if you don't watch the videos.
Right.
And that gives a very bad signal. And it put me in a very shitty position because I have an audience which doesn't care about my topic that I'm talking about.
You grew an audience with the wrong topic.
Yeah.
By accident.
Basically, by accident. It was more of like a struggle and asking like all different kinds of YouTubers, what do I do with this channel? Because nobody really understands. Like everyone is like, yeah, but you have views coming in and you have audience come in. But I'm like, I don't have a car. I'm not interested in cars. I don't want to make car kind of content. Like another aspect could be, or an approach would be, I have a car video that goes viral. I make more content around car stuff.
Yes.
No interest whatsoever. So then I would burn out making those videos that I have no interest in, which doesn't make sense. And eventually I was like, I need to do something about this, or I'm gonna keep having this. So I deleted the video.
And then you did something else.
Yeah, it took a lot of thinking, and eventually I was like, I'm just gonna fuck this channel. I'm gonna make a new one. Because all the videos I was uploading also didn't get any views because of the mismatch in audience. Then you're thinking, okay, what do I do? And then it's still coming back to, what do I want to talk about?
Yeah.
Now, the last videos on my channel on Tom's Odyssey were more about creativity and like breaking down how other creators work. Mm-hmm. So I thought, I had the podcast already. So the podcast was called Creator Secrets. I thought, as an experiment, let's just take all the content, upload it on a new channel, which is around that topic. So I would selectively choose the ones that would create a binge. So this one all comes together. Then we can upload that together and then see where that goes.
So you took old videos from your Tom's Odyssey channel and just uploaded them to a new channel with a new logo, new name.
Yeah, fresh one.
Fresh one, even though the videos were some years old or months old, I don't know. How did that play out?
The experiment itself was funny because the old channel was 44K
subscribers.
Yes. The new one was 100. The views in comparison were higher on the 100 channel than on my old channel, just by YouTube pushing it out. But because those videos were created in a binge kind of way, like this video, then watch this video for the next, and you create a loop, people start watching more videos. So the video itself does better, but the channel does better because people get more.
Because now YouTube gets positive signals from that channel.
And then we have the Casey video, which was on Tom's Odyssey and also on Creator Secrets. That's one of the outliers that actually did well on Tom's Odyssey. That video didn't do as well as the Tom's Odyssey one, but still it has 15K.
So that video actually did better on the old channel than the new channel.
But it still found its way to the audience.
And that might have been a timing-ish thing with...
he just published a course, and that's why that got picked up. And the new video was published way after the course, and it still got picked up.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest changes that I saw was I uploaded a podcast about Casey, but which was about like his vlogging and me figuring out how to do a vlog, right? That podcast video published on the channel got 1K views in a day. So there was like a real wave where the channel was like growing Creator Secrets. I think it grew 1,000 subs in 2 months. Probably a little bit less than 2 months.
That's pretty good.
Whereas with Tom's Odyssey, it took me 2 years.
What is interesting to hear about this is that you upload videos that already exist on YouTube to a new channel. They find an audience, and most of them do better, right? There are things, if they're time-based. And some videos also did the same, so it gave me the signal like, this is not a good video. By uploading it again, I also got way more comments than I had on my old channel because it didn't get pushed back. And that gave me a lot more feedback of like, what does this audience want to see or not see? What it gave me was more of a framework to play with. Because with Tom's Odyssey, there was no focus. Creator Secrets was, I knew who the audience was because I thought about it beforehand. And therefore, if I had a video idea, I could test that idea on the audience that I think was watching my videos. So if I was making a video about 2 new pieces of gear that you shouldn't buy or something like that, I know that's not what this audience wants to see. This audience wants to see stuff about how do creators do stuff or how to structure content. So what's
even
behind the scenes, behind the process? We're
still within the content creation field, but in a different level.
Yeah.
So for example, I did a video about Riverside, like the platform. That video did bad because they're not interested in recording podcasts.
They were interested in vlogging
and filmmaking and storytelling, developing their story in their videos. Because that's what the creator breakdown is for me. It's like figuring out how does a creator make his videos.
To those people who have this question of should I start a new channel or should I continue with my old channel that has X subscribers? Do you think there's a general answer to this?
There's no general answer to that, right? Every channel itself has its limitations or its perks, when to do this or when not. I think if it's people who have been creating a long time and they have amassed a very broad catalog, then it might be useful to start a new channel with a specific niche down version of what that catalog should be and see and experiment what this does.
Interesting.
Right? But that's the thing what I wanted to say is like, you have to start from zero. And a lot of people don't want, it's a very ego thing. Like, I have this amount of subscribers, I'm not going to be starting new. And it takes a little bit of humbling to just be able to just fresh 0 subscribers, I'm pushing out my videos and see whatever happens.
So that's how I got to know you. That's the content I saw from you first, right?
Yes.
Breaking down creator secrets.
Yeah.
To be on brand. But that avenue has become a little bit less important from our conversations. There is something else in your life going on right now that's kind of become more interesting. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I remember when I said, like, that's not my main channel anymore, and you looked, like, funny at me. Like, what is this guy talking about?
Yeah.
Again, starting something new?
That's what's working. You learned that it was working. Why would you go away from that?
So, actually, and this is something that I showed you before, but there's something on my phone that has been, like, one of the biggest triggers. So this is a doomsday clock. Basically what it came down to when I started communicating a little bit more about climate was I got around and saw like we have 10 good years to do something about it. And I was like, why is nobody from the science world talking about this? But something that a lot of scientists feel is like there's a void, like a gap between people, the everyday public, and what they're saying. Now, that gap exists because of a few reasons. There's a lot of miscommunication, right? People who don't know anything about science talking science, which doesn't work. There's also the other part. There's always 2 parts to the story, right? There's a lot of scientists not knowing how to communicate this.
Yeah.
And that can be for a wide variety of reasons. Mostly it's because they get too in-depth, too detailed, and you lose people because of the jargon.
I feel like you have that stereotype in like every other Hollywood movie, like where the scientist like, I have the evidence, we're going down, and the president's like, leave me alone.
Yes, right?
Till it's too late.
Right. So I'm here, I try to make my own personal brand. Can I teach other scientists to do that as well? And from their own brand, then talk as more as a personal advocate of science. That's basically what I want to do. Science communication is exactly that, communicating their research to a broader plane.
In a way
that's approachable, right? And especially to where the people are. You know, where are people these days? Well, online, on social media, on all these different apps, these different platforms.
So basically, you want to create science influencers.
Basically. That sounds cool, right? Well, I don't like influencers, science creators, right?
So you're trying to create some science communicators who can make the public more interested in the real life scenario that we're in.
Yes.
Of this.
Basically, I want to promote climate content. I always wanted to do this. Like, this is more science content. It's climate content. And also it gave me a way to tell stories that are not just about filmmaking, but have an actual topic. Before I was always trying to figure out how do you make videos and then make a video about how do you make videos. Now I could actually make a video about something and apply everything that I learned without having the whole meta behind it of like,
I see,
keeping people engaged with watching a video of how to be engaged.
Right.
Now I can just make a video about this.
Now it's just a message, just the story.
And because now I do have my whole workflow already set, because I have my workflow from the other channels, I get to just plug and play, and now
you can just develop the idea.
And it's more fun because it's something different.
If you want to dive deeper into what inspires creators, I got just a thing for you. the Orbit newsletter. It's a weekly collection of good content, useful tools, and fun stuff to click on to fuel your creative journey. It's a way to discover creators who went from 0 to 100 in a single step, distills creator economy news when it's actually relevant, and highlights the whole Orbit community. It really is the first newsletter of its kind focusing on the creator economy in Europe while still giving you global insights. And the best thing is that you can become a part of it too, because Orbit is a community effort built to connecting people. Just send in content that inspires you or that helped you grow. Or you can share it on our subreddit where other creators can upvote the most inspiring posts. That way we can really build the most insightful newsletter the creator economy has seen to date. And maybe one day we can share your story from being somebody with a dream to becoming the person leaping ahead by just taking one single step. So whether you're an aspiring content creator, a seasoned professional, or somewhere in between, the Orbit newsletter is your weekly dose of inspiration, giving you a fresh perspective. To sign up, simply check the link down below. I am so excited for you to become part of this community. And now let's get on with the show, because I'll see you in your inbox.
Now you've been doing this for a while.
Apparently it's been 9 years on YouTube, I saw. But that's not taking YouTube seriously, right?
But my question is, at this point in time, do you consider yourself a YouTuber?
Yeah.
Is there
but not a full-time YouTuber, but
okay.
I mean, everyone who at least intentionally posts stuff on YouTube with the idea of growing somewhat of an audience, I think that's like what a YouTuber is. Mm-hmm. I feel like a YouTuber, but I'm not like I know the other creators who are like you doing this full time. Like I had a moment where I tried to do that full time, but because I'm trying to explain a lot about like how filmmaking worked or like how content creation worked, I also felt like I needed to be active to be able to allow to talk about this. So I needed to make content for other people to know that I'm talking about the right things here. And also it gave me a more opportunity of learning on the job that I could then explain when I'm making videos.
Now, you have 3 YouTube channels.
Yes.
But YouTube is not the thing.
No.
What is the thing, or what is the rest of Tom?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm still trying to develop like how I want to move things forwards because I'm in that transition period, I think. But I want to transition towards more science stuff as
makes sense.
A service that I provide. So as a freelance service or as a business service, so that again I can share the knowledge that I have to other people who want to do more of that climate content. And I'm trying to figure out like what the role between the 3 channels is. Like what is that percentage wise? Like how do I put my time and effort in?
Yeah.
But for me now, plan B has become the main objective, whereas it used to be the other way around.
And is the goal with that to make money, reach the right people,
it's
create
mostly
awareness?
The last 2, so create awareness and reach the right people.
Yeah.
But of course, with a little bit of a mindset behind it of, okay, we need to make this sustainable. I cannot keep doing this without anything coming in, right?
Yeah.
So that's why there's the freelance component for me, because I don't rely on YouTube.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about where the money comes from?
Money-wise, it's still 75% from freelance stuff.
As filmmaker?
Filmmaker, content creator. So most of the stuff I get is for a video. We need a video for this, we need a video for that. Some universities that want some stuff done and I get to do some stuff for them. I actually set up a new channel for like a research group. Recently, I had to do a few public speaking engagements. So that's something I want to build towards as well. And then the whole workshop thing. That's something I didn't know before, but my methodology isn't something that you come across a lot.
No, that's what really fascinated me.
Which is funny to me because like to me that's like...
That's how your brain works.
Whoever, like why don't you make a video like this is my perspective. Yeah.
You have to take down the work and deconstruct it into the smallest building blocks to see the overall perspective. Then you can just throw away what doesn't work for you and implement the bits and pieces that do fit in your own work.
Seeing you roll out a piece of paper, scribbling down a timeline, breaking down each element, it sounds simple enough, but you have a way of thinking, a way of seeing structures that I don't think many people have.
Yeah, so the way I'm thinking now to have like a sustainable model behind all of this is that including workshops, including more of these speaking engagements where there's still a lot of people that want to learn about this side of also just YouTube in general, like a lot of brands that still need to make this transition of new media, networks that need to make this transition. So I think that's where the opportunity is for me with the knowledge that I have and with my background with Creator Secrets.
Mm-hmm. So given everything that we've just talked about, it's fascinating to see all the different elements kind of coming together. But if you had a magic wand, money isn't an option, audience isn't relevant, you can do whatever you want. What would be your dream project?
I've been thinking about this a long time now, but I think I'm good at finding structure. And I'm good at strategizing those things and like setting things up. What I think is where I want to ever take this is have teams dedicated for all of this. So Creator Secrets doesn't only have to be something that I do.
Right.
It's not tied to Tom.
True.
Right? So this could be something where we have a few hosts where there are other creators and also giving their input. The same with Plan B, not as other faces, but having science content takes a lot of pre-production time. Getting all your facts straight, doing all the research. So having someone who helps me with the research department, that would be nice. And where I want to go is just develop a system where it's not just me doing these things, but where I get to make more videos without me doing all the work. And that's something that's difficult as a creator because you have the vision, you have your style of filming, you have your style of editing, and then teaching that to somebody else.
Most of us start by themselves because they want the creative expression, right?
Yeah, in a different way because I'm used to doing this like this.
Yes. I started YouTube because I didn't want to use my creativity for clients anymore and be told how to edit. So we're very used to, from the get-go, to do everything by ourselves. Filming, talking, editing, publishing.
Which is also the power of YouTube, right?
Yes, which is the freedom it creates.
You decide if the idea is good enough to be published.
Yes, but that also normalizes that state. And it's like, ooh, if I bring somebody in from the outside, is that going to still work?
I think it depends on, you have to figure out who you are as a creator.
Sure.
Right? And some creators are very good. Like Casey cannot function in a team. He needs to do his own thing and have his whole workflow. Then you have people like Cinecom, and you have, for example, Linus Tech Tips, right? MKBHD. It's a frontman with a whole team behind it.
Yes.
Developing those ideas and videos and developing on their own. Like, you can have a whole team that's dedicated. Like, here's an idea, make that video, or even come up with the idea, pitch it to me, and then make that video.
Yeah.
But then it's starting to become more of like what a YouTube media company would look like.
Yeah. And I think that's a very important question for people to figure out. Are they working towards that big team, that big studio, or are they perfectly happy doing everything themselves?
Right. I'm good at coming up with the ideas and selecting the ideas.
Yeah.
But I need some help in getting them developed.
I know you identify more as an extrovert.
Yes.
But how do you recharge?
Well, something that I do after every video that I publish, if it's not raining outside, I try to go outside with the board. Because it brings me back out of this zone, this focused zone that I've been in. So after a video is published, that day I don't do anything anymore. publish, that's done.
That is a topic for another conversation. I would love to dive into that, but there's so many little side avenues I want to explore. But yeah, this is going to turn into a 24-hour live stream, which maybe we'll do that at some point. Tom, it was a pleasure.
Thanks for coming here.